Trying to bridge the generational gap is one of the most difficult things you can do as an artist, especially when it comes to your listeners, because they always find something wrong with it. You have old school hip-hop fans who will only listen to old school hip-hop, and if there's one person that's introduced them from a youngin' of some sorts, they see them and immediately throw them in the garbage because, no, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, man. They don't do the same thing that these guys did when they're inspired by them, and that's the biggest point that they're trying to put across, is that they've been inspired by these older people. Same thing with bands like the Struts. They show what it's like to be a modern hair metal band, yet people throw their music away because they immediately think of Aerosmith when you listen to the Struts, right? No. You should be thinking of the Struts. And the inspirations they have are pivotal to what it is like to be a hair metal band. Because without the other ones that have laid the groundwork, how could they ever build off of it and make their own success and share the love? But apparently to some people that doesn't matter. So when you get into a group like Myxie and 3MSHADOW, these two are probably the best combination of what it's like to have Marion Hill mixed with a modern Eurythmics and sprinkling in some Billie Eilish for some seasoning. Because Myxie doesn't really fit one genre, as well as Shadow. His production doesn't fit in a box at all. You could put him in a trip-hop area, lo-fi, hip-hop, boom-bap. The list probably goes on for 5 minutes, but I'm going to stop there. Myxie does rapping, she does singing, and she also does, I guess it would have to be spinging, like sing-rapping. That's probably the best way to put it. A lot of the stuff of what most people do in their music nowadays. Anyway, it's not just churned out crap. And above all, this project isn't supposed to have any deeper meaning. It's just, it's here. It's supposed to be genre bending. It's supposed to make you feel good. When you listen to it, you're not supposed to be like, man, that was deep. No, you're supposed to hear it and just enjoy the music you're listening to. That's something that a lot of people forget about nowadays. And far be it from me to say that hip-hop is something that doesn't have fun music. Because last year I reviewed the Kyle album, and that album is supposed to be fun. And it's not. At least to me. But, anyway. That's what most music is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. Because if you're not having fun while you're recording in some way, shape, or form, then why are you making music in the first place? If you're not having fun writing your music, why are you doing it in the first place? When it comes to making music, you have to feel good when you do it, so that people that listen to it can feel good in return. Even if you feel like shit. You can talk about some of the darkest and saddest things, but if you feel good getting it out there, then you can help someone get better. That's the purpose, and they're just going into one section of what it's like to be an artist. And you have to make fun music, because if you don't, what else are you going to listen to when you're riding down the road on a summer night with the windows down? You can listen to classical if you want, because a lot of people enjoy listening to classical on nice calm evenings. But maybe you want to listen to something that can get your blood pumping. Because listening to a song like Lifetime, my blood's pumping. Now, would I punch a hole in the wall? No. But I really enjoy the vibe that I get from this record. And that is something that most people just don't even think about nowadays. One thing that definitely has people constantly flocking back to someone like Eminem is because he goes into that one section where he makes the song that's dorky and funny. And yeah, that's cool and all, but it can be outplayed. Don't do it too much. Don't do it too little. Just do it enough. Because an entire album of funny songs like Encore really wasn't worth it. But when you get into an album like the Marshall Mathers LP2, which isn't the greatest, it had Berserk on it, and Love Game. And those two were funny, but they also had some lyrical ability thrown in there. Not the best, not the worst, but it's still there. So, making fun music is an important part of being an artist. Bridging the generational gap is a very important part of what it's like to be an artist. Because if you're not willing to meet in the middle and talk to these people, at least through your artistry, then why are you making it in the first place? And if you're not having fun, don't make the music anymore. That's it. I think that's all I have to say on this record. I really, really hope you guys listen to this because this is pretty far out of the box. For me, at least reviewing it on the channel, because the last thing that I had on here that was different was the Highest Hope review when I reviewed that. Goodness, that was last year. And I didn't think I would ever review something like that again. And it's two totally different worlds, but I really enjoy this. And I can't wait for what these two put together next. They're always working together, mainly because they're together. And yeah, if you want to check out their music, there's also one of my other favorite songs called Miniskirt in the description along with this project, because Miniskirt makes me feel like a bad bitch. And one other thing. The shirt that I'm wearing is for the Scalpel Boys. These are the gentlemen that I've talked about several occasions on the channel. And I highly recommend you guys, at least if you have a couple dollars. You don't have to. If you have a couple dollars, get a shirt. It's a really nice shirt. It's very comfortable. And I'm not getting plugged to say this. I'm not getting paid to say this. Just support the little guy. And the same thing with Myxie too. I'll put her Twitter in the description because she's always willing to do art of some sorts. And I'll put Shadow's Twitter in the description as well. He's always willing to work with new artists. So whoever's out there that's wanting to try and put a little beat tape together, hit this guy up. If you're wanting some new artwork to put in your room, hit Myxie up. And if you want a shirt, go to the Scalpel Boys merch store. And I think that's all I have to say. Tune in next week when I review the new Lil Chair mixtape, Chair in Control. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Stop spoiling Endgame. Stay selfish. Peace.